Hey everyone. Shambhala is a mythical place in both Hindu and Buddhist legends. Europeans sought for years to find this much talked about location, but it does not exist on the physical plane. Speaking of Shambhala in 1985, the 14th Dalai Lama said, although those with special affiliation may actually be able to go there through their karmic connection, nevertheless, it is not a physical place that we can actually find. We can only say that it is a pure land, a land in the human realm. And unless one has the merit and the actual karmic association, one cannot actually arrive there. Today, let's know about the mystical city and the kingdom of Shambhala. Let's start the video, but before that, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. The first mention of Shambhala can be found in the Vishnu Purana, an ancient Hindu text. The Vishnu Purana dates back to the 4th century, although it may have originated as many as 1000 years earlier. It predicted that the 10th incarnation of Lord Vishnu, that is Kalki, would be born in a city called Shambhala. He would grow up to destroy a group of invaders, thereby ending the age of disputes and ushering in a golden age of peace. Early in the 11th century, Shambhala appeared again, this time in a Buddhist text called the Kala Chakra Tantra. The word Kala Chakra can be translated as the wheel of time or cycles of time. In this text, it is written that the king of Shambhala will travel to India for the Kala Chakra teachings and bring them back to his people. 7 generations later, a new king called Kalki will arise and unify all the people of India, abolishing the caste system. Many generations after this, the 24th successor of Kalki will drive out invaders and usher in a new golden age, just as the Vishnu Purana predicted. The first record of Shambhala by a European dates back to the early 17th century. The Portuguese missionary Estevão Cachela heard of a place called Shambhala, which in his records he wrote as Zimbala when he visited a Tibetan monastery in 1627. In 1833, the Hungarian scholar Somo de Koros wrote an article on the Kala Chakra that mentions Shambhala. Koros also wrote the first Tibetan English dictionary. Later, European writers grouped it with other mythical lost lands such as Atlantis. Others took the old stories more literally and set out to find the lost land of Shambhala, but without any success. Rudolf Steiner was best known for his Waldorf educational philosophy and biodynamic agricultural theories. He believed that the location of Shambhala would be revealed with the second coming of Christ. As late as the 1920s, people were still actively seeking Shambhala. The Russian couple Helena and Nikolai Roerich led an expedition through the Altai Mountains between 1925 and 1928 in search of it. Eventually, he returned and founded Agni Yoga. He continued to speak of Shambhala as a land of peace and perfect spiritual practice. Alice Bailey wrote of Shambhala as a force that could be used for either good or evil. According to her writings, it is located in the astral realm and is the place where the Lord of Earth and humanity dwells. Even Adolf Hitler sent several expeditions to Tibet, partially in an attempt to find and contact Shambhala. Shambhala inspired the fictional location of Shangri-La, first described in James Hilton's 1933 novel Lost Horizon. When a plane crash lands in the Kunlun Mountains of Tibet, the survivors take shelter in the lamasery of Shangri-La. This fictional community is equipped with every modern convenience and they decide to stay. This novel served to keep the concept alive in the popular imagination. The ancient concept of Shambhala inspired a secular meditation practice called Shambhala training. It was created by the Tibetan Buddhist meditation teacher Chogyam Trungpa in the 1970s. Trungpa used the name Shambhala to emphasize the idea that an enlightened society is achievable through mindfulness and meditation. Trungpa was raised in Tibetan monasteries. He ran his own by the age of 20 but fled after his monastery was destroyed by Chinese occupying forces. He journeyed through the mountains on foot with hundreds of other refugees and eventually escaped. He established Vajradhatu in 1973 and the organization was later renamed Shambhala International. There are over 200 Shambhala meditation centers worldwide. Trungpa taught that meditation was a way to connect with one's basic goodness. His book Shambhala, The Sacred Path of the Warrior, taught that humans can create an enlightened society from one moment to the next. They do this by releasing ego-driven behaviors and being brave enough to adhere to the basic goodness within. His approach was not limited to seated meditation. He sought to bring mindfulness to every part of the day. Additionally, he advocated for creating a life that incorporates art whenever possible through practices such as dance, poetry, flower arranging, and self-care. Despite the beautiful theories that he preached, the traumas that Trungpa endured led to terminal alcoholism and an early death. He led a big, controversial life and his teachings endure. Shambhala training teaches how to find contentment, joy, and wisdom in everyday life. It's also the name of fictional locations in multiple video games. This city is basically the way of life and probably the route to the restoration of a new era. Well, that's it for today. I hope you're liking Nerdy's discoveries. Can't wait for the next video to learn more and be fascinated about. See you on the next. Bye.